Welcome to Danny Ludofia Animations, your home for inspiring and thought-provoking stories that entertain and educate. Today, we bring you a powerful story titled If Only He Listened to His Wife. This video is packed with lessons about trust, wisdom, and the consequences of ignoring wise counsel. If you enjoy meaningful content like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with friends and family. We'd also love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more amazing content from Danny Ludofia Animations. Let's grow together. You are welcome, David. Nice to have you early today.
We need to sit down, please. I am extremely tired today.
Sorry. Let's go. David, I've been noticing how quickly things are moving with your business lately. It's exciting, but I'm also a bit concerned.
Concerned? Why? Everything's going great. Business is booming, Sarah.
I know, and I'm proud of you. But I feel like you're expanding too quickly, taking loans, forming partnerships without fully understanding the risks. It's starting to feel rushed.
Rushed? Sarah, you don't need to worry. I've got everything under control. This is how business works. You seize opportunities when they come.
I understand that, David. But have you thought about consulting a financial expert? Someone who can help you evaluate these deals. Not every opportunity is as good as it seems on the surface.
I don't need someone else telling me how to run my business. I've been doing this for years. I know what I'm doing.
I'm not saying you don't know what you're doing. I just think a second opinion could help avoid any unforeseen issues. It's better to be cautious now than to face problems later.
Sarah, you're overthinking this. If I second-guess every move, I'll miss out on opportunities. Trust me. I've got this under control.
I do trust you, David. But trust doesn't mean I shouldn't share my concerns. Please, just think about it. I only want what's best for us and the family.
I appreciate your concern, but there's no need to worry. Let me handle this, okay?
I hope you're right, David. I truly do.
Did anyone drop a file for me today?
No. I haven't seen anyone come to this house today. Hurry up. Your food is ready.
Thanks, my love. Let's head to the dining table together.
Deal.
David, I'm telling you, this is the perfect time to scale up. With just one more big investment, we can take our business to a whole new level.
I agree, Mark. The market is ripe for it. But how do you propose we get the funds? We've already used a significant portion of our initial capital.
That's where the loan comes in. I've already spoken to a few banks. They're willing to give us a sizable amount, considering the projected profits we've outlined.
Loans are a serious commitment, Mark. Are you sure we can handle their repayments, especially if things don't go as planned?
David, you're overthinking it. Our business model is solid. The banks know it, and so do we. Once we secure the loan, we can reinvest in marketing, production, and expansion. The returns will cover everything.
I'm not against the idea, but I think we should run this by a financial consultant. Just to make sure we're not overlooking any risks.
A consultant? Come on, David. Do we really need someone else in our business, poking holes in our plans? We're capable of making this decision ourselves.
It's not about doubting our capability. It's about being cautious. A loan isn't just free money. It's a responsibility.
I get where you're coming from, but sometimes you have to take risks to win big. Look, the numbers are clear. This loan will give us the boost we need. Delaying this for more consultations might cost us the opportunity.
You have a point. But if we're going to do this, we need to be absolutely sure. Can you share the details of the loan terms?
Of course. I've got everything here. Let's go through the numbers together, and I'll show you why this is a no-brainer.
Okay. We also need to involve the management team.
Good morning. Thank you for calling Prime Ventures. This is Emma speaking. How may I assist you?
Good morning, Emma. This is Mr. Jameson, the branch manager at Capital Trust Bank. I'm calling regarding the loan application submitted by Mr. David and Mr. Mark.
Ah, yes, Mr. Jameson. Thank you for reaching out. How can I assist you with that?
I wanted to inform you that the bank has reviewed their application and supporting documents thoroughly. We're ready to approve a loan of any amount they require, as their company meets all our criteria.
That's wonderful news, Mr. Jameson. I'm sure Mr. David and Mr. Mark will be thrilled to hear this.
Please let them know that the terms of the loan, including the repayment schedule and interest rates, are ready for their review. They can visit us at their earliest convenience to finalize the agreement.
Absolutely. I'll make sure they get the message right away. Is there anything specific they should bring along to the meeting?
Just themselves, Emma. We've got everything we need from their side. We're confident this partnership will be mutually beneficial.
Thank you, Mr. Jameson. I'll relay your message promptly. Have a great day.
You too, Emma. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good morning, Mrs. James. Thank you for joining me on short notice. I've been reviewing the company's latest developments, and I must say, I'm impressed by how well our projects are advancing. However, to drive the company to new heights, I believe it's crucial to assess the strength of our financial resources. Good morning, Mr. Collins. I'm glad to hear the projects are progressing well. Financially, we've made significant strides. Our sources of finance are strong and stable, but of course, there's always room to optimize. What specific areas are you concerned about? I'd like a detailed overview of our primary revenue streams and how sustainable they are in the long term. Additionally, I'm keen to understand if we have untapped potential in terms of investments or cost efficiencies. Could you share some insights? Certainly. Currently, our main sources of income come from our diversified product portfolio and strategic partnerships. We also have a solid reserve fund that gives us a buffer for unforeseen challenges. However, we could enhance cash flow by tightening receivables management and reducing overhead costs in certain departments. That's promising. What about our investment strategy? Are we making the most of our surplus funds? We are, but there's room to expand. Currently, we're allocating surplus funds to low-risk bonds and reinvesting in high-performing departments. If we're open to slightly higher risks, we could explore market opportunities in emerging sectors that align with our expertise. Interesting. We'll definitely need a thorough analysis of those opportunities. On another note, I've noticed that while our financial health is strong, our growth rate could be higher. What steps would you recommend to accelerate growth? To achieve higher growth, we should consider scaling our operations in markets where we already have a foothold. Additionally, investing in technology to streamline production and improve efficiency would yield long-term benefits. Strengthening our marketing efforts, especially in underperforming regions, could also bring immediate results. I agree. Diversification and expansion are key, but we'll need a cohesive strategy. Let's outline the steps together. I'll coordinate with other departments to align their goals with these financial insights. That sounds like a solid plan. I'll prepare a comprehensive report highlighting our current financial position, investment opportunities, and cost-saving strategies. We can use it as a foundation for the company's growth blueprint. Perfect. Let's aim to finalize this by next week. With a clear understanding of our finances and a strategic approach, I'm confident we can take the company to greater heights. Thank you for your input, Mrs. James. It's my pleasure, Mr. Collins. I'm looking forward to working closely on this initiative.
You are welcome, David. How was work today?
Sarah, I have great news. After conducting a thorough feasibility study, Mark and I have decided to go ahead with the loan from Capital Trust Bank. The bank is fully on board, and this will take our company to a whole new level.
A loan? David, I thought we talked about this. I told you I wasn't comfortable with the idea of taking on such a huge risk.
I know, Sarah, but we've looked at everything, the numbers, the projections. This loan will give us the capital we need to expand. The returns will easily cover the repayment and even give us more profit.
And what if things don't go as planned, David? Business is unpredictable. One wrong move or an unexpected event, and you'll be left struggling to repay the loan.
Sarah, we've accounted for all the risks. We wouldn't have moved forward if we weren't confident in the plan.
Confidence isn't enough, David. A loan isn't just numbers on paper, it's a responsibility that could affect us, our home, and our family. Why won't you slow down and rethink this?
Because slowing down means missing opportunities. This is our chance to grow, Sarah. To achieve something big.
At what cost, David? I'm not saying you shouldn't grow, but there are other ways to do it, safer ways. Why not save up or bring in investors instead of risking everything on a loan?
Investors would take control of the company. This way, Mark and I remain in charge. Sarah, you have to trust me.
It's not about trust, David. It's about wisdom. I see where this could lead, and I'm scared for us. Please, think about it again. Talk to an independent advisor, someone outside of the business.
Sarah, I've already given my word to Mark and the bank. Backing out now would make me look indecisive and unprofessional.
And going forward without considering the risks could make you lose everything we've built. David, I'm asking you as your wife, please, don't do this without thinking it through one last time.
I hear you, Sarah. I'll think about it. But I need you to understand why this feels so important to me.
I understand, David. I always support your dreams, but I also want to protect our family. Just promise me you'll be cautious.
I promise.
All right, David, here's how I see it. We allocate specific amounts to each project, marketing, production, logistics, and keep the remaining funds in reserve. But I think it's best if the reserve account is one I control. That way, I can access it quickly whenever a project needs extra funding.
I'm not sure about that, Mark. We're partners. The funds should be in a joint account that we both oversee.
I get where you're coming from, but think about it, David. You're handling the overall operations and strategy. I'm managing the day-to-day execution of these projects. It makes sense for me to have quick access to the funds without needing to wait for approvals.
But having sole control over the reserve might lead to misunderstandings. What if I need to access those funds, or we don't agree on how they're being used?
Look, I'm not saying I'll make decisions without consulting you. Of course, I'll keep you in the loop. But for practical purposes, it's more efficient this way. We can't afford delays when opportunities arise.
I see your point, but it feels risky. What if something happens and we lose track of how the money is being spent?
David, come on. We've been working together for a while now. You know I'm as invested in this business as you are. I'm not going to do anything reckless. This is about streamlining the process, not cutting you out.
I don't know, Mark. I just want to make sure everything is transparent and above board.
And it will be. I'll provide regular updates, and we can review the expenses together. Trust me, David,
This is the best way to keep things moving efficiently.
All right, Mark. I'll agree to this, but only if we set some clear rules. Regular updates, receipts for all expenses, and no major withdrawals without discussing them first.
Absolutely, David. That's more than fair. You won't regret this. Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye.
Good morning, Mrs. Sarah. It's nice to see you here. How can I help you today? Please take your seat. Good morning, Emma. I need to check some documents regarding the recent loan approval and the financial allocations for the company's projects. Oh, I see. Is everything all right, ma'am? Everything is fine, Emma. I just want to have a better understanding of the company's financial plans. As David's wife, I think it's important for me to be aware of what's happening. Of course, ma'am. I understand. Since you're Mr. David's wife, I can guide you to the relevant files. Most of the documents you're looking for should be in the finance department's archive. And what about the disbursement plan for the loan? Where would I find that? That document should be in Mr. David's office. I believe he and Mr. Mark finalized it recently. Thank you, Emma. Can you help me access it? Well, ma'am, the office is locked when Mr. David isn't in. But if you wait, I can ask someone from the finance team to assist you with copies of the related documents. That would be helpful. Also, Emma, is there anything I should know about how the funds are being managed? Well, ma'am, there was a recent discussion between Mr. David and Mr. Mark. Mr. Mark suggested that a significant portion of the funds be kept in an account under his control. Mr. David initially disagreed but eventually approved it. An account under Mr. Mark's control. Did they explain why? Mr. Mark said it was for convenience, to access the funds quickly for the projects. But, if I'm being honest, I thought it was a bit unusual. Thank you for being honest, Emma. This is exactly why I needed to look into this. Please let the finance team know I'll be waiting for those documents. Of course, Mrs. Sarah. I'll make sure they're brought to you right away.
Sarah. What brings you here?
We need to talk, David. I just came from the reception, and I've been reviewing some details about the loan and its disbursement.
Oh? What's on your mind?
I was briefed that you agreed to let Mark control a significant portion of the loan funds. Is that true?
Yes, it's true. Mark and I discussed it thoroughly, and it makes sense for him to manage those funds. He's handling the day-to-day operations and needs quick access to the money for the projects.
David, this is a bad idea. Giving someone sole control over such a large sum of money is risky, no matter how much you trust them. What if something goes wrong?
Nothing's going to go wrong, Sarah. Mark promised to keep everything transparent. He'll provide documentation and proof of payment for every transaction.
David, promises and paperwork won't protect us if the money is mismanaged. What if Mark makes a poor decision or spends the money on something unnecessary? You're putting our entire future in someone else's hands.
I understand your concern, Sarah, but Mark has been my partner for years. I trust him. And I'll be reviewing the accounts regularly.
Trust isn't the issue here. It's about safeguarding the business and our family's financial stability. This isn't just about Mark, it's about accountability. Why not keep the funds in a joint account where both of you have equal oversight?
That would slow things down, Sarah. Mark needs to move quickly on these projects. Delays could cost us opportunities.
And losing that money because of poor oversight could cost you everything. David, this isn't about slowing down. It's about being wise. Why take an unnecessary risk when there is a safer option?
I hear you, Sarah, but the decision has already been made. Mark has the funds, and we've agreed on strict guidelines for how they'll be used.
David, I'm asking you as your wife, reconsider this. Talk to Mark and make changes before it's too late. Please.
Sarah, I know you mean well, but I can't backtrack now. Mark and I have documented everything, and I trust him to do the right thing.
David, I hope for all our sakes that your trust isn't misplaced. But don't say I didn't warn you.
It's okay. Trust me, nothing bad would happen.
I will take my leave. Have a nice day.
No. Wait a minute. Let's go together.
What about my car?
I will call one of the drivers to drop it for you. I have a good news for you. I will be traveling to Paris over the weekend for a business conference.
It's okay. That's fine.
I need you to come with me. Don't you think so?
That's not the best idea.
I am ready to go. Please take care of yourself for me.
David, you mentioned earlier that you'll be in Paris for a week. That's a long time to be away, especially with all the projects going on.
I know, but it's an important conference. Networking and learning from others in the industry will be valuable for the company.
I understand that. But since you'll be away, don't you think it's a good idea to share some responsibilities while you're gone?
What do you mean?
I mean giving me access to the funds Mark is holding. That way, if there is an emergency or an urgent need, I can step in and make decisions.
Sarah, we've already discussed this. Mark has everything under control. I don't see why you need access right now.
Because you'll be away, David. You can't oversee everything from Paris. And Mark might not always act in the company's best interests, or ours. I'm not saying he'll do anything wrong, but having a backup plan is just good sense.
I get your point, but I trust Mark to handle things. We've set clear guidelines, and he knows what's expected.
David, this isn't about trust. It's about protecting what we've worked so hard for. If something happens while you're gone, shouldn't I have the authority to step in and fix it?
Sarah, I don't want to make any changes right before I leave. It'll complicate things. Let me handle this when I get back, okay?
By the time you return, it might be too late. David, I'm not asking for control, I'm asking for partnership. If you trust me, why not let me help while you're away?
It's not about trusting you, Sarah. It's about not overcomplicating things. Mark is already managing the funds, and I don't want to disrupt that setup right now.
David, you're taking a big risk by leaving everything in his hands. If you won't give me access now, promise me you'll at least reconsider when you get back.
Fine. When I return, we can talk about it. But for now, let's leave things as they are. Trust me. I love you.
Ludofia Animations proudly presents an exciting new episode filled with twists, lessons, and decisions that could change everything. David has just returned from his trip to Paris, but what awaits him at home will leave you on the edge of your seat. Trust, loyalty, and accountability will be tested like never before. Stay tuned to discover what happens when decisions made in the past come full circle. Will David find everything as he left it, or will unexpected surprises shake his world? Don't miss this thrilling episode. The answers are closer than you think. I am glad you're back, sir. Thank God for the journey mercies.
Thanks, me dear. The key to my office, please.
It's not here, sir. It's with Mr. Mark. He has been staying in your office until lately, when he decided not to come to the office again.
What do you mean?
Sorry, sir. I will meet you shortly. Let me get some information from the bank for you. They have been calling for days now since you traveled. I will meet you in your office.
Fine then. Emma, what on earth happened here? Why does the office look like this?
Sir, there is something you need to know. Things have been falling apart while you were away.
Falling apart? What are you talking about?
These are from the bank, sir. They've been sending warnings about loan defaults. Payments haven't been made, and now the bank is threatening to take legal action.
Loan defaults? That's impossible. Mark was supposed to manage the funds. Where is he?
That's the other problem, sir. Mark has been missing for days. He hasn't been answering calls, and no one has seen him.
Missing? What do you mean, missing? He was supposed to be handling everything while I was away.
Sir, the police have been coming to the bank almost daily. They're investigating claims that Mark mismanaged the company funds. It looks like he withdrew large amounts of money for personal use.
This can't be happening. How could this go so wrong? I trusted him.
I'm so sorry, sir. Everyone is in shock. We never imagined Mark would do something like this.
What about the staff? Are they aware of what's going on?
Yes, sir. They are worried about their jobs, and some have already started looking for other opportunities. The company's reputation is being questioned everywhere.
This is a disaster. I should have listened to Sarah. She warned me about this.
Sir, is there anything I can do to help?
Yes. Get me all the financial records immediately. I need to see exactly what Mark did. And contact the police. I want to cooperate fully with their investigation.
Right away, sir. Now. No more going to work again.
I should have listened to you, Sarah. I was too proud to admit that I didn't know everything. Now we've lost almost everything we worked for.
What's done is done, David. We can't undo the past, but we can learn from it. Next time, let's work together. No decision should be made without us both agreeing on it.
When wisdom speaks, pride should never turn a deaf ear, for the cost of regret is far greater than the price of listening.